If you play Heihachi, this information here can save your butts. And if you play the characters that I'm gonna mention, this is very good anti-Heihachi tech you should know about. So the characters I'm gonna mention are Jun, Asuka, Paul, and Dragunov, I guess. His tech is a little bit less like useful as the other three. But as you know, Jun and Asuka have a move called Can. This is a low-high counter-hit launcher. Super fast, safe on block, you have to duck the low to be able to punish the high. And it got a little bit buffed by the system because in this game, it's no longer possible to low parry airborne moves. And since this attack jumps quite early in its animation, this is no longer an option against it. And if the Jun player knows the matchup, they probably know that they can do Can whenever you enter Fujin stance after a full 3 or 1 back 2. So if they instantly throw it out on reaction to these moves, and I try to cancel into a low block, I just don't have enough time for it. I just always get hit by the low. So this is basically free damage, and if you commit to an option like Power Crush, the low, even the quick one like the Fujin 1-2, you're gonna get counter hit out of it and give them a free combo. However, it's very difficult for the Jun or Asuka player to do this on reaction to the stance, because you can just throw it out like 4-3 into nothing and backdash, or 1 back 2 and then duck afterwards, right? So if they try to react to the stance transition instead, then it becomes possible to duck under it. But if they are instantly throwing it out, then you can just bait it out by doing a backdash, especially after 4-3. This is an easy electric punish. So what to do in this matchup? Just test the waters first. Do 4-3 into nothing. You take a little bit of damage if they just instantly retaliate with it. But do this a few times. Don't just do it once and then think, oh, they didn't do Can, they don't know about it, I'm just gonna spam it. Because sometimes it takes people a little bit of repetition for them to remember their option and just start doing it. So test the water, do 4-3 into duck to see if they're doing this as a delayed response. If they always instantly throw it out, then you start baiting it. However, her defensive options against our stance pressure doesn't stop there, because when you throw out a heat smash into a stance mix-up, both Asuka and Jun again have a sabaki that beats both your mid and high options. There we go. And the same happens with the high that we want to use for the guard break, but there are things you can do against it. You can use the throw, you can use the low, which will count the hit launch then, and at the wall you get a little wall splat like that, which is decent damage. But if you really want to just use those options, you can just delay it a little bit and then suddenly it works like that. The sabaki is kind of slow, so it's not that hard to delay it enough to beat it. Someone that has a much stronger option against this mix-up is Paul Phoenix, because look at what happens when I try to hit them with my homing high attack. He just completely evades it. This option for 1+4 beats the high palming, the mid, the sweep, and the free kick. The only option that beats it here is the grab, which is also homing, but seems to have like either better tracking or a better hitbox. But sometimes this is not the best option you have, because you have to be like slightly at an angle at the wall to get a wall hit and deal a lot of damage. So what you can do here against this character instead is to just cancel the stance and go for a jab if they know about it, because this is going to counter hit them out of it and you get a wall splat into a decent amount of damage. It is possible to delay the high attack to track them a little bit better, but it's not as easy as delaying against Jun and Asuka Sabaki. The move is a lot faster, so if you mistime it, you get hit anyways. Something that you can also do, especially in the open, is to cancel the stance and then do back 4. Then you get much better reward. This option is also useful against our Fujin stance, but it's not as bad because the Power Crush is going to track them. And that's something that you're likely going to use a lot to make people respect this stance. But once again, you can just bait it out by blocking it. minus 14 frames. Sometimes the headbutt whiffs in this situation. So I do prefer using down forward 4-2 or down forward 1-2 to punish that. But yeah, just don't do this stance. See if they do it. See if they know about this option. And if they go for it, you punish. And yeah. And for the last character that I mentioned, which is Dragunov, this stack is not as crazy as the other three characters, but it caught me off guard, so I decided to talk about it and document it in case it happens to you as well. So, you know how after the heat smash, you get like a pretty crazy Okizeme where Corsical forward 2 hits the opponent that they try to get up. This is basically free damage against a lot of people. But against Dragunov, in this position, he has a special wake up move. And that option completely goes under your Corsical forward 2. Let me just show you. There we go. And that punishes you into a tackle. And you get mixed up. Yeah, so that's pretty funny, right? So the option you have against it is to use down 1 instead. It hits pretty low to the ground. However, if they tap up to get up, you're going to be able to block it. It's not like the back 3-free situation, which I talked about in a previous video regarding this Okizeme. But yeah, not huge tech, not something to worry about too much. But if you like to apply that Okizeme, you may want to know that it can be scary against Dragunov. And that's about it. Hopefully this information saves your butts next time you play Heihachi. See you.